Alright guys, it looks like they've teased us enough. We are going to be getting Cillian Murphy in the next 28 Years Later movie. 28 Years Later 3, whatever they're calling it, who knows. So, this is important because, one, this movie was never actually greenlit until now. They got Cillian Murphy to apparently cameo in 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. And they used that as a reason to sort of go to the studio, hey, he's agreed to come back. Greenlight this goddamn movie for us, please. Which is, yeah, he's a big get. He's a big actor. People really like him. You know, this is one of his early roles that people think he's exceptional in, and he is. He's very, very good in this. 28 Days Later. So to see him come back, yeah, I'm all game for this. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Now they say he's in talks. I doubt it. I doubt he's in talks. He is in 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. So, and there's also been interviews to the effect of, we've got him. We're using that as a reason for them to greenlight the third one. You know, to get it greenlit to secure that money. So when they say in talks, barely, probably. I don't know, hands down, but I would say barely. Like I would say he's like pretty much guaranteed a done deal. Alex Garland is penning the script. Now, Alex Garland does actually do good stuff. He's fallen off the face of the planet the last few years. There was some garbage. But he is pretty good, all in all. So, you know. And this is Alex Garland and Danny Boyle going back to their, you know, their roots, I guess, to a degree. So, I think this will be good. I'm happy about this. This released quite late for me yesterday. So, I thought we'd take a look at it today. Please do hit subscribe if you're new here. There's like 50% of you that aren't subscribed that, you know, keep coming back to the channel. So, be cool if you hit subscribe. Just for Christmas. Do it for Christmas. Or something. Anyway, whatever. Let's take a look. So, this is an exclusive to Deadline. And it says, Sony is proceeding with the third 28 Years Later movie, following the electric fan reaction from recent screenings of 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, directed by Nia DaCosta. And I think that's interesting, actually, because it didn't look like 28 Years Later, the first one, made money. But the thing is about Sony, and this you need to keep into account with Sony specifically, but also it does pertain to other studios, is Sony doesn't have a streaming platform. So, whereas like Disney, for instance, for them it is quite make or break at the box office, right? Like it kind of is. Because they don't have a second revenue stream. Their secondary revenue stream is on licensing and merchandise. Because they can't rent the film out to themselves. That's still a cost. Whereas Sony doesn't have a streaming platform. In the sort of conventional sense anyway. So they typically have really quite big deals. One of them is actually, or was, with Netflix at one point. So they've got good deals. They can make a lot of money in the secondary revenue stream, and they can sell it as well. So it can be, you know, for digital download and all this kind of stuff. So even though it looked like that movie didn't make any money, it obviously did. You know, one would imagine, unless Hollywood is just dumb, which they are, but I would imagine it made money. So them going ahead with this third one, brilliant. Brilliant. So that pick comes out over MLK weekend on January 16th, 2026. And the third movie in the latest trilogy doesn't have a title yet. So, yeah, we're like a month out from The Bone Temple. I did the first reviews video to that the other day. Everyone seemed to love it. There was one or two comments which, you know, the headlines are pretty clickbaity. They're running with like, oh, it's going to polarize people, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was near universally positive, so I don't know where they got that from. But there were some comments, just words to the effect of, well, you know, in terms of this movie, less on the zombies, more on the evil people. It's not necessarily a bad thing. So anyway, as it says here, the buzz is that 28 Days Later star Cillian Murphy, who reprises his role in The Bone Temple, is in talks. And franchise scribe Alex Garland is currently writing part 3. Murphy Cillian Murphy, is an executive producer on 28 Years Later and 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. The Oppenheimer Best Actor Oscar winner is directed by CAA and Sloan, Offer, Weber and Dern. So Sony won the rights to the 28 Years Later trilogy. It had the option for the third movie, but waited to greenlight it. Rather, it shot the first two movies back to back, with Danny Boyle returning to direct the first, and then Near DeCosta helming the second. And Boyle has said in interviews he'd like to helm the third, 28 Years Later, and it's hopeful he'll return. Hopefully, stop the gimmicks though. Like, you don't need to shoot things on iPhones. That was weird. No need for that. And arguably, from the trailers, The Bone Temple visually looks like a better film, like a better quality picture. So yeah, iPhones are fine, and you can use it as a bit of a stunt, but no, don't do long-term filming like that. It's dumb. So 28 Years Later opened to $30 million in June. One of the top openings for a horror movie in a year, flooded with them. The movie went on to gross $70.4 million domestic, $153.3 million worldwide. It's easily the highest grossing in the franchise, that started back at Fox Searchlight in 2002, with 28 Days Later. The original, directed by Boyle and written by Garland, was followed by 2007's 28 Weeks Later, which was directed by Juan Carlos Fresnadillo and written by Fresnadillo, Rowan Joff, Enrique Lopez Levine, and Jesus Olmo. So all in, the British horror series across 3 movies has minted close to $300 million worldwide, and the film takes place in a dystopian future, blah, 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 blah. You know all of that. So the hoots and hollers coming from the Century City Westfield Mall last night weren't from Christmas lights. They were just people were loving The Bone Temple. They think it's amazing, basically. They think it's brilliant. The reviews are top-notch. Really top-notch. People are saying that Jack O'Connell and Ralph Fiennes are standouts. Jack O'Connell specifically. Jack O'Connell did come out and say, hey, this is the most evil, nastiest villain I've ever played in my entire career. So, yeah. And that's funny. O'Connell goes all in on maniacal star Sir Jimmy, while Fiennes eats up needle drops like a demon. I mean, they're loving it. So, there you go. It does look like, from what we can see here anyway, that Cillian Murphy will come back. I mean, the movie's greenlit anyway, and he's cameoed in the second one. So, yeah, he's probably going to come back. This is good. I'm game for this. I liked it. I liked 28 Years Later. I know loads of people didn't. I liked it. I'm looking forward to 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. And I will look forward to this one if The Bone Temple's any good. What do you think? Let me know down below. Bye now.